Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and yes, y'all are getting 2 Bondy Blue shows in 1 week, and it is because the last video was hella long, okay, and also because I forgot to talk about Monique Samuels being charged with assault from Candiace. What's Candiace's last name? I forgot, but y'all know Candiace. Dillard. I can already guess. Y'all know I'm cool with Monique, and I did reach out to Monique, but I just reached out to check on her. I didn't want to ask her about this because I can just about guess, since the cameras were there wasn't much she was going to be able to tell me anyway. We're gonna see it when the show comes out next year. So I just kind of feel like there was no point in me even really asking. And I also don't want to get too much into it, because then by the time we get to the show, I'm not gonna really care anymore. So, you know, we're gonna talk about it, but I don't want to like really dive into it. I will definitely see if we can have like a little conversation once it's aired, and then we can all talk about it, you know, once we're free and clear to say what's what. But she is definitely being charged. So in return, Monique filed charges against Candiace. So let's read what the Jasmine brand is saying. According to People, Monique Samuels has been charged with second-degree assault from the District Court of Montgomery County in Maryland. Candiace Dillard is said to have filed a complaint with the court's commissioner, and summons has been issued for Monique Samuels to appear in court in December. We received the following statement from Monique's attorney, A. Scott Bolden of Reed Smith, LLP. Neither I nor my client have seen, nor have we been served with the subject Montgomery County criminal summons. Nevertheless, I understand the summons for this action that was sworn out by Mrs. Dillard is completely one-sided, inaccurate, and unwarranted. Ms. Dillard has a public reputation for aggressive, belligerent, and threatening behavior that has played out repeatedly on the Housewives of Potomac for millions of viewers to see for themselves. To be sure, my client did nothing but defend herself in the face of more very aggressive behavior by Miss Dillard. If this event occurred during taping of the show, I am confident that the video will bear all of this out. My client has every right to file for a counter criminal summons as well, and will consider doing so while fully defending herself in this action that has been filed with the court. Either way, I am confident that she will prevail on this matter. Going forward, we hope that Ms. Dillard seeks the help she needs to avoid creating these kinds of unsafe and unfortunate circumstances in and outside of the workplace. The funny thing is, Monique's lawyer's tone matched Candiace's lawyer's tone. I think it was hilarious. Like, it was still something along the lines of Mrs. Samuels needs to get herself help for her behavior. Like, let's be very clear. I think we can all just about guess that once again, Candiace was saying something along the lines of, drag me, Monique, drag me. Okay, y'all remember last season, right? Yeah. So I'm probably on my girl side with this. Like, because I feel like Monique is level-headed. I know some of y'all don't like her, but I feel like when it really comes down to it, Monique is a very level-headed person. And if she had to pull Candiace's hair and yank her down to the ground, there was probably a good reason for it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. I'm sure there's a reason for why Monique decided to put those paws on Candiace, okay? What I did get from her is that she was focusing on her children. Okay, I said, how you doing? You know, I don't want to assume that this is a big deal, because it's when it like kind of first came out that they were charging her. I said, I don't want to assume that this is a big deal, but I just wanted to check in to see how you were doing. And she says, girl, I'm just worrying about my children, and that's about that. And I'm like, Monique has money. I'm sure her husband has great connections, and I'm sure they have a great lawyer, you know, obviously. So I'm not really worried about Monique getting jail time or anything, but that, you know, that is up for grabs if somebody decides that they want to convict her of something. As far as Candiace and her deciding to file charges, I'm disappointed, I'm annoyed, and I want her either demoted or off the show. There needs to be some punishment for you feeling the need to file charges on Monique after you have vocally invited an ass whipping. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? You filed charges Like, that's just ridiculous to me. And I feel like that's what somebody does when they can't win a fight. Okay? I.e. Evelyn Lozada. But either way, like, I just don't respect people that do this. Like, I get it. But at the same time, don't enter the arena of being on a reality show and thinking you can pop off at the mouth and get in somebody's face and they're not going to pop off back and handle you accordingly. Like, okay? And I'm just assuming. I'm assuming. So I could be wrong. And if when we watch this during the season and I feel differently than I feel right now, I'll say I was wrong. Y'all know I don't have a problem doing that. But going off my instincts, Candiace started some shit and wrote a check that her ass couldn't cash. And that was pretty much that. But yeah, y'all. We'll see what really went down when the season starts. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. And you guys, speaking of basketball wives, Kristen Scott is talking. And I don't even know why the blogs are featuring her. Like, why are we listening to her say the same thing that she said before? But I just want you guys to hear when someone with an education tries to talk around saying the same bullshit that they've already said, but just putting a different spin on it so that they won't seem as much trash as they really are, okay? The Jasmine brand says, last season of Basketball Wives ended on a nasty note, with cast member Ogum OG Chijinju accusing the ladies of ousting her due to colorism. And I would like to state, colorism, it is not just about skin tone. It is about facial features and also about hair texture. Kristen may be dark complected, but she has European or small features, whatever you want to view them as, which is more acceptable than OG's facial features. Okay? And also, once again, the wavy 3C hair texture. Okay. Also, more acceptable. Okay? So when we're putting y'all up against her, please stop. Let's not even talk about the actual personality factor and Kristen being a kiss ass and OG not being one. Okay? So when you put it in the confines of that, I think that we can pretty much guess that there was some one-sided foolishness going on. And it's not about OG in the way she was treated compared to Jennifer and compared to Malaysia and, because Malaysia's not that brown. But, Kristen, okay? Kristen, you kiss ass. So that is why you, of course, would not receive the same treatment. And Jennifer has been bullied to no end. And we all now think that Shawnee has been lying this entire time about her saying that old girl was a bad parent. We'll talk about my daughter. Anybody talk your daughter? It's talking about you being a thought mama, okay? Like, whatever. Anyway, back to what they were saying. Kristen Scott tells I'm Here for the Food podcast via Madame Noir about OG's colorism accusations and how the reunion could have been handled differently. Kristen says she has regrets. I've had such negative experiences with OG. But I still don't think anyone deserves to feel that way. So if I felt that I could have a conversation like this, a safe conversation where I felt like I was in a safe space, not unsafe, like she's going to punch me in the mouth, just that we can have this type of dialogue. Why not? Of course I would have done it. And see, that is condescending to assume that you were going to get punched in the mouth. That's what aggravates me. Because you act as if anybody else has said or done anything different than OG. She just says to y'all, keep playing with me and you're going to get yourself hurt. No different than Tammy. No different than Malaysia. Malaysia threw a table at Jen. Are we really having this conversation, okay, about somebody being scared? And that's the issue, that you have more fear of someone who has never actually hit anybody versus the one who's constantly throwing bottles and tables and chairs and anything else they can get their hands on. Nobody has a problem with those people. You aren't scared of them, but you're scared of OG. Why is that? I wonder. Also, OG was very vocal about how she felt the entire time, for the most part. And you and everybody else hemmed and hawed and said she was doing too much. So don't now try to invoke any type of sympathy, because you didn't have it when she was going through it. You didn't have it at the reunion. But now you have it because y'all received so much backlash. Get out of my facial. Unsafe. Okay? If it was really unsafe, she'd have mocked your ass when you got in her face about touching your back when it was really Shawnee's messy ass. Anyway, Now sitting down and speaking with you guys, I wish we could have changed it. I wish we could have done something different. Maybe we still can. It's a learning and teaching moment for all of us. Evelyn, Shawnee, since they're the ones that are really getting it, I know them personally without editing, and I don't feel there was malice behind it. Why would you ever feel like that when your head is stuck up their asses? Why would you ever feel that way? These are wonderful women. When it all boils down to it, OG is a wonderful woman as well. We need to take a moment and stop and think. And in these situations, we just react and go for the jugular. Me personally, I hate that OG feels like that. I may not get along with her, but it's devastating that this beautiful black woman feels less than at her job. And that is trying to make it seem as if OG is insecure instead that she's being victimized. But okay, I see. That sucks. It absolutely sucks. So I think everyone needs to own their She needs to take a step back and say, how did I even get here? And we as a cast, meaning everyone but OG, that includes her friends that are on the show, how did we allow her to even feel this way? I'm not going to argue with her feelings. You can't never tell nobody, too many double negatives, how they feel. Could it have been unintentional? Absolutely. For someone's feelings, everyone has to take a moment. But for me and what I have witnessed, I don't feel this is a colorism issue. Why did we not have it as a teaching moment before the reunion? Because if you felt like this, it wasn't just because you didn't sit on the stage. You obviously felt this behavior. Why couldn't we talk about this before? Maybe by the time we got to the reunion, we could have all shared the stage. For me, I'm clearly the same damn color. I mean, I feel like I'm the same color as OG. I'm not getting that treatment, so it's hard for me to agree that it's because of her skin color, because you're ignorant. It makes it very difficult for me to agree that this is colorism when I'm the same color. Can everybody own their Yes, it looks like Mean Girls. It looks like bullying. I hate using that for grown-ass women, but that's the word that gets thrown around. I get it. Do I think that things happen unintentionally that we do? Yeah. When you look back at yourself, I'm sure you're like, that's not what I meant to do. But Evelyn and Shawnee are two grown-ass women that I can't speak for. I can only speak for me and what I had with OG. I have done a lot of apologizing for a lot of my bad behavior on this show. You saw and you haven't. I ain't see no apologizing, but okay. I really try to be somebody who owns my shit. Girl, please stop. You's a whole lie out here. You's a liar. You's a liar. You's a liar. When you watch OG and she says, I don't regret anything, there's no accountability. I don't want to even read any more of this because there's a whole nother paragraph and I just don't even care anymore because I want to stop right there. There's no accountability because she says she wouldn't do anything different. What is she supposed to have wanted to do different? I want to know, because most of the time that we've seen, y'all have messed with her and then she's come at y'all neck. But see, if she was a weaker person, y'all would be going at her neck because y'all know y'all can get away with it. Like Evelyn does with Jen. She knows Jen isn't about that fighting life, which is why she wants to throw drinks and jump over tables and all of that stuff with her. But when you and OG get into it, then you can just walk away. I see y'all. Kristen, get a clue and shut up. Okay? Go on somewhere away from me with this. Y'all know I don't like 50 Cent. Y'all know I don't like him. Okay, I've said it time and time again. Tori Norton has been catching it from a lot of sides this week. First, 50 Cent is posting the meme of her with the ponytail all tight and her edges looking a little weak. And it could have been because of her pregnancy. You know what I mean? Once you see it from the side, you realize that the edges aren't that bad, but maybe we should have had a bang. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Maybe we should have had a bang. That's all. She's on his show. There was no reason for him to like make fun of her like that. And then he got a lot of backlash, so he deleted his Instagram. She didn't really reply to him, but she was like, are you mad at me? Did we have a fight I don't know about? But either way, I got a book coming out. Y'all support my book. It's called What Not to Do When You're a Boss. Okay. He posted her next to some creature from a movie I've never seen. Okay. And that was like the second time he'd done it after he like apologized because he kind of did when Ghost was like doing her like that. So it was like, you know, he did it like that and then her edges were gone. It's petty. it's kind of funny. It's trash of him to do as a man to her. I do feel like she was a little sensitive about it. I'm not even gonna front, because I would have found a picture or a screenshot of when he was on the show with his peen out and photoshopped it to look like this little short little bitty peen. Like, I would have put that somewhere, like on Twitter or something like that, where you don't really get strikes for putting up nudity like that, okay? Like, I would have got back at him another way, but the way she took it to heart, and then Lonnie Love was on the real going off about it and drew the correlation to the lady who is on the sidelines of the games and stuff, I think for Fox Sports, the black lady, I forgot her name, because people were always talking about her and her wigs, because she has a lot of forehead and sometimes her wigs look rough, because she's doing a job that doesn't always allow for you to beautify before you go out there. But at the same time, sometimes I be looking at that lady like, sis, we can do better. We can do better. That's all. We can do better. No shade. Because I know it's a tough job. It's a tough gig. You're standing on the sidelines, you're sweating, whatever the weather is like. If you in the dome that ain't got no ceiling, then you just out here with your hair messed up. So I understand. But I still feel like we can make better choices. Notori and that lady from Fox Sports, we can all make better choices as far as what we do with our hair. We can do whatever we want to. But I think that if your edges are already struggling, that tight ponytail probably wasn't the move, and that's just for you. Okay, forget 50 Cent, because y'all know I don't like him. But I didn't like the way we instantly went to, sad about it. Like, man, bump this Negro. Like, nobody care about 50 Cent, okay? Oh, lonely, bitter, mean ass. Nobody care about him, okay? Like, I would have ribbed him back, okay? Like, in all honesty. But not only that, but then you got Lil' Kim going on Hollywood Unlocked and Melissa Ford co-signing this foolishness about how Notori Naughton was not the good choice for Lil' Kim's role, the role on Notorious B.I.G. on Biggie's movie. First of all, Lil' Kim, it wasn't your movie. It was Biggie's movie. And like somebody said, you need to be lucky they didn't Charlie Baltimore your ass and make you an extra, okay? Because they could have done that, all right? I'm just saying, you were a part of his life, but so was she. And we see how they ended up. And the thing I don't like is we all know that you wanted Christina Milian to play the role because in your eyes, you're lighter than you actually are, okay? Lil' Kim, you were a brown skin, closer to darker than not, okay, in the 90s, all right? And you still are under all of that miscoloration of makeup. We've seen you on the beach and you're still brown, okay? So it really annoys me when you get so defensive and so disrespectful about Notori. Notori has said time and time again that she reached out to Lil' Kim, but because Lil' Kim didn't want her dark-skinned self to play that role, she decided to ignore her. And now y'all want to sit up there and act like she never reached out and she didn't get the okay. She don't need the okay. No actor actually needs the okay from a person that they're playing in order to do a movie, especially when this person was famous in the 90s and a lot of their activity, performances, and personality can be seen on YouTube somewhere, okay? I don't need to see you in person if I can watch you do interviews and watch you perform on all of the times you performed on the Apollo stage and all of that. Like that, got it going on, what? Like when she went off and did that, Notori bodied that. And the fact that you don't have grace enough to be appreciative of the fact that somebody even wanted to play your retarded ass. Like, that's what annoys me. I love Kim. And I think Kim is a queen of this rap shit. I really, really do. I think that she was the prototype in which the Nicki Minaj's and everybody else have been able to stand on because she broke open the doors as far as female sexuality in the way that she did. Nobody's else nipples was out at these award shows, okay? Lil' Kim was doing the stuff that y'all do now that makes it acceptable now. Back then, it was a shocker. Back then, seeing her do some of the things that she did was like, oh my God. But now you see it and it's the norm, okay? So I know a lot of y'all, Nicki Minaj fans don't like to hear that, but I don't have time for y'all delusions. I will block y'all. We're not gonna get into this like this is not the truth. This is the absolute truth, okay? There's no way that one of the biggest female rappers of all time that just so happens to be from New York, okay, was not affected by the other biggest female rapper of all time that was from New York that really probably influenced her. Like, y'all are crazy if y'all think that she didn't. The hell are you talking about? She's copied specific poses, hairstyles, clothing choices, and photo shoots. But yeah, there was absolutely no correlation between Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim. Whatever. I don't have time for y'all with that. But either way, Lil' Kim really makes me upset when she does this thing about Notori because she said it time and time again. And Melissa Ford, you are normally my girl, but please shut the F up forever. For real. You sitting up there talking about there's no resemblance. They have nothing in common. What the are you talking about? Do you think Angela Bassett looked exactly like Tina Turner? Do you think Denzel Washington looked anything like Malcolm X? Do you think anybody asked Malcolm X if it was okay for Denzel Washington to play? No, because he was dead. Okay? So I just kind of feel like y'all are ridiculous. Lil' Kim is ridiculous. And I am tired of her thinking that she's light-skinned. I am tired of it. You're not, okay? You might have been 1 or 2 shades lighter than Notori, if that. Stop it, Kim. Stop it. And the fact that you even try to act like that's not why, or the fact that that even bothers you, something is wrong, okay? And you can keep blaming your daddy all you want to, but as long as you can tell us that that's the reason why, you need to do better. Because see, now you know why you do better and all of that. You ain't doing better. You're making me upset. Y'all better leave Notori Norton alone and let this girl live, okay? After 3LW, I feel like Notori Norton does not need to go through anything else bad in her career. Leave this lady alone. Lori Harvey and Future spotted extra close and cuddling at concert. The Jasmine brand exclusively reports things may be getting hot and heavy between Lori Harvey and Future. Sources tell us Thursday night, November 14th, the pair were allegedly together at Tiana Taylor's concert in Atlanta. We're told that while the duo arrived separately, they were with each other the entire night and were extra affectionate. They were all over each other, hugging and holding hands, really hot and heavy. Sources tell us that they were in their own section for most of the night and left the venue together. Rumors of them being together started shortly after Lori Harvey and Sean Diddy Combs split. Earlier this month, the two allegedly were spotted together in Malibu, California at Nobu. Diddy and Lori Harvey allegedly split in September. So what do I think of Future and Lori Harvey as a couple? What do I think about that? What is chlamydia? What is a UTI? What is one-word text messages? What is Plan B? What is toxic? What is Future has met his match? What is faster than a microwave oven? What is she a thought, Yana? She didn't give it to everybody. What is and you still hit it raw? Yes, he did, Your Honor. What is eye roll emoji? What is power couple? Question mark? What is okay? And that's my thoughts on Lori Harvey and Future. Y'all, Monique has decided to sue Netflix, y'all, for discrimination. Oh, Lord, Monique has had it with Netflix. Now she's suing the streaming service for discrimination. Fans might remember that Monique called out Netflix for only offering her $500,000 for a comedy special, while offering other comedians like Chris Rock $40 million and giving Dave Chappelle $60 million for 3 specials in 2016. The lawsuit also pointed out that Amy Schumer was initially offered $11 million, and before Netflix boosted her pay to $13 million after the offers for Rock and Chappelle were extended. Funny guy Ricky Gervais was also offered $40 million for 2 specials. According to the lawsuit, when the talent was not a black woman, Netflix offered to pay, and did pay, astronomically, more than it pays to black women, like it offered Monique. It adds, thus, Netflix reportedly offered or paid Rock, Chappelle, DeGeneres, and Gervais 40 times more per show than it offered Monique. And it offered Schumer 26 times more per show than Monique. In short, Netflix offered to Monique perpetuates the drastic wage gap forced upon black women in America's workforce. It called out Netflix board of directors, stating that it is historically lacked racial diversity and instead has been white only for years. For years, the board lacked even one black member, let alone a black female. She added that in 2018, only 4% of its employees were black workers and only 6% in 2019. The lawsuit also accuses John Freeland of using the N-word in a meeting when he was the chief of communications for the company in 2018. He then allegedly used the word again during a meeting with Black human resource employees as he explained the incident. While Netflix later fired him, Monique's lawyer Michael W. Park said Netflix is one of Hollywood's most innovative companies, yet it not only perpetuates racial and gender equality, it also takes advantage of a gender pay gap that disproportionately affects Black women. When Monique, one of the most well-known Black female comedians in America, faced that anachronistic attitude, she knew it was time to challenge the status quo. Monique took to social media to confirm the lawsuit. And of course, she loves us for real. I'ma just say this. Even though when you look at what Netflix has started to put on their app, and when you look at the shows and movies from Africa and all over the world, Asian stuff, Bollywood stuff, just all these different types of ethnicities and nationalities have a place on Netflix. So I think when people see that, they think that that is enough. Now that they've added Love Jones, that is enough. That is a representation that they are diverse. But what Monique has explained in this lawsuit is that behind the scenes and in their employees, in their members, in their board, it does not reflect that same diversity. And that often happens. And it also proves that Black people can also be sold a bill of goods and feel like that is good enough. Now, I don't need the price for Netflix going up any more than it already has. But at the same time, I feel as if Monique can get a good enough lawyer and has enough money to pay said lawyer to go after Netflix, do what you gotta do. Like, people sue for less stuff. People sue for less stuff. So I honestly feel like if they have a case and they can present that and get something in some way or change something in some way, fine. Because I feel like people pointing out the lack of diversity is why they decided to start putting all these Black movies on Netflix. So there is something to be said for how Monique views Netflix, okay? Like I said, I don't need the price to go up, Netflix, so please don't be upset with me. But I just feel like that is probably likely what is going on behind the scenes. I'm sorry. If you have people like, even if you fired them because you know it looks bad. And under the climate of this country, nobody wants to ostracize people who watch television. And we watch television. We watch Netflix, okay? So yeah, y'all, I just feel like if Monique can get her money, girl, get your money. If, you got the pockets to deal with Netflix and their lawyers, go ahead. More power to you, sis. I'll see how this all plays out and we'll report back if this ever gets settled. All right. I love you for real. Okay, y'all, let's talk about Deelishis. Y'all remember Deelishis from Flavor of Love, right? Okay, so Deelishis is an Instagram star. She's on the radio in Detroit, I believe, and she does shows every weekend. Okay, girl is always walking in something spandex, drinking flat tummy tea, losing weight, posting pictures of her and her new boo from the Exonerated 5, Raymond Santana. Okay. Deelishis has been rumored to be skin bleaching, to have gotten a nose job, all kind of stuff. And the thing that kills me is that the people who actually visibly get nose jobs, y'all never say anything about it. Like, nobody's badgering Kelly Rowland about her nose job. But we want to keep talking about Deelishis and her looking so different. First of all, Deelishis was much younger and much thicker when she was on Flavor of Love, which was like 10 plus years ago at this point. You know what I'm saying? So that was a very long time ago. So I feel like Deelishis has gotten older. Makeup techniques have advanced. People were not contouring like that back in the day. They just put on a foundation that they thought matched their brown skin as best they could, and they kept it pushing, okay? Also, people change colors. I'm usually lighter in the winter than I am in the summer. It's the realization of the situation, okay? Less sun means less sun rays getting this skin, okay? So I feel like I look at Deelishis and I look at her body, and she doesn't look like someone that's bleaching her skin. I just think she highlights the hell out of her face, and it also depends on lighting. These girls are always in front of full lighting and everything, and that does make you appear lighter in a picture. Then you add a filter on top of that, on top of all of the concealer that you got on top of the highlight. Makeup is magic at this point. So she put up a video of her doing her makeup routine so that people can see it and stop thinking that she's gotten surgery. So I kind of wanted to talk about it just to see how I feel about it. I'm going to put up a picture of Deelishis that shows her doing this makeup routine. Y'all, my words is so messed up right now. And then on this side, I'm going to post an older picture of her from back in the Flavor of Love days. I personally feel like if she had gone through the trouble of actually getting surgery done to her face, then she would have removed the moles on her face. That mole on her eye. Like, why have to go through all of that to cover that up with makeup when you can just get it removed if you're okay with people cutting into your face all willy-nilly? I'm just saying, okay? So the more I look at her, the more I think what I'm looking at is somebody who has done really well contouring their nose, first of all. Somebody who's lost a lot of weight and somebody who has gotten older, which means the softness in their face has kind of started to like chisel a little bit. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but the same thing happened to Halle Berry to me. When Halle Berry was younger, her face was a lot fuller. I still feel like she got a nose job, but even her cheekbones and everything, her face was just fuller. And as she got older, her face got a little bit more angular, okay? And I feel like that happens to a lot of women once they start to get older. Deelishis is like 10, 15 years older than she was when she was on Flavor of Love. So I feel like there's something to be said for that. But let's look at the side by sides and see how I really feel about this. If you notice this picture from Flavor of Love with this other picture of her from more recent, it's not as recent, but it's more recent. I think we're looking at the same nose here. I think she just contoured the hell out of her nose. And I've also seen her put those things in her nose, like these little plastic things that you put in your nose, and it's supposed to like create more of a bridge in your nose and make it look I guess less flat. So yeah, I don't know if I think she's gotten surgery, y'all. I really don't think so. If she did, I think she would have just admitted it, because hasn't she had her boobs or a tummy tuck or something like that and was honest about that? Y'all, I can't read this little bitty writing in his Instagram post, so I'm not even gonna try, for what she said she got and all of this and that. For anybody who thinks her butt isn't real, y'all are sadly mistaken. Her butt was that big back then. She was like one of the few girls whose butt was actually that big back then. So, if she got it contoured like Donna did hers, maybe. But I just think that she's probably gotten a tummy tuck and a tit lift, and lost weight and got older, And like I said, makeup is magic. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. And lastly, you guys, they made John Legend people's sexiest man alive. And you guys, I wasn't even going to say anything about it because I was like, oh, good for John Legend. I don't really think that any of these magazines that are, ranking people by beauty or, handsomeness or whatever, like, child, please. Child, please, okay? Just like they said that Bella Hadid was the most beautiful woman in the world based off of, like, facial symmetry. And I just kind of was like, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, yeah, I don't agree with that. But the funny thing was the fact that Chrissy Teigen was like, nah, if y'all don't get the hell out of here with this. That was hilarious to me, that his own wife was like, boy, if y'all don't get out of my face with this. I'm looking at this cover, and I wouldn't throw John Legend out of the bed. I've seen John Legend in person. John Legend is a nice looking man, and I think that his temperament and how cool he is, I think his personality and classiness, I think that will definitely get him over the hill with what he lacks in physical sex appeal. But I think John looks good. I think he looked good. Like I said, I wouldn't kick him out the bed. Sexiest man alive. I think that's hard to say because Idris Elba is still alive. So I think that's hard to say. And Idris Elba was the sexiest, man alive last year. And I almost feel like I think we could have kept that going. Show me somebody. Show me somebody look better. Show me somebody. Okay, look. Hell, I can think of a few people that I think sexier than John Legend, but it was just his turn. You know what I mean? I love John Legend, so I'm actually happy for him, even if I don't think he's actually the sexiest man alive. But Go on, Chrissy Teigen, girl. Make love to the sexiest man alive, girl. Go ahead and do it, okay? I bet you didn't think you was ever going to be able to say that. Anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I say review, but y'all know what I mean, right? I'm tired. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.